Welcome to the Secret Keepers Podcast with your host, Kareen Zutleger. Join us as we uncover the hidden thoughts, stories, and moments that help bring light to the healing power of truth and examine how silence can affect us mentally, physically, and spiritually. We'll also share profound stories, interviews, and transformative narratives to help release ourselves from the hidden and step into healing towards inner peace, joy, and fulfillment. Now, here's your healing strategist and host, Kareen.
Welcome to the Secret Keepers Podcast. And today my guest is Wendy Luk, and I'm going to have her tell you a little bit about herself.
Hi, Karine, and everyone listening, and I appreciate to be in this space to share with you today. I am Wendy. I am an intuitive energy healer and soul mission coach. So I love to work with lightworkers or purpose-driven professionals who wants to know and align with their soul mission and or their high purpose. So through that, I love to use energy healing, guided meditation, and soul activation in my group program, and is in 8 weeks and guide people to know, align their soul mission statement so that they have the clarity and also tools and also clear the priority limitations so to step into the soul mission. So that's what I love to do.
Awesome. I love that. And in alignment with the Secret Keepers podcast, what we're looking to do is to help people heal and transform on all the different levels of whatever that is and whatever that looks like for them. Leave behind the story and fully step into and embrace their future. What does that look like? And it sounds like you have some really awesome tools to help people get there. So I would love to hear how you got to be in the space you are now as an energy healer.
Mm-hmm. And definitely it's a process of evolution. And is there multiple steps, multiple aha moment, the ups and downs, and I'm sure everyone listening to resonate to it. Those so whenever that we have the inspiration or the initiation to go through that. So I started with the darkening of the souls, and it's not only one time, but the very impactful first time was when I had the moments of everything kind of crashed in with I have health problems, insomnia, depressions, ended a toxic relationship, and get laid off from a job. All simultaneous happen, almost at once, as if the
Mhm.
universe is telling me, okay, there's something that I need to look at, or there's something that really need to change in some way. So I started with a journey of wanting to self healing, and looking for meditation for calming the mind because I couldn't sleep. And not only just for the external or medication for that, but I just really want to, make myself better. Like in out of all of this, it's really health, career, relationship, and
Sure.
everything. It's okay. What do I start? And I wanted to get myself better with health first, because without that, then nothing can build on it. So through the meditation group, I think experience, I learned about energy healing. So it's just one thing leading to other, and I learned. I went into the course. I get to know my first teacher. So it just started the inspire and actually awaken my inner desires about I want to help people. That's all I've been wanting to do. And through energy healing, and I just, wow, this is my innate. I'm just really, good at it in some way. I'm passionate to know,
Yeah.
learn more about it. So through the self healing and to become a practitioner and to become, years and years after that is over, like I think 14 years now for me, and become a
Wow. Okay.
coach.
So it wasn't
Manage-
overnight.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh no, absolutely not overnight. Yeah.
Right. So what I hear you saying is that you had, so like for people in the audience who don't maybe necessarily understand what the dark night of a soul is, that you had some pretty crummy things happen to you all in a row, where you were kind of like punched in the nose, punched in the gut, and then punched in the nose again, and life was waking you up, right? Whether you wanted it to or not. And you had choices to make at that point. You could have chose the path to kind of stay into that, what you refer to as the dark night of the soul, stay in that very dark energy.
Mhm.
Or what I hear you saying is you stepped into the light. You were like, I'm going to seek something inside of you said to
Mm.
seek, a way to work with yourself. So, would you say that primarily you were affected emotionally and mentally, or was it like physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually? In which capacities were you affected by your dark nights of the soul?
Mm. I would say the impact at that time would be emotionally
Okay.
really strong because you have to deal with it every day. It's the reaction is the trigger, and then it will lead to the mental and the physical and the spiritual in that way. Because with the depression, it's like either numb out or cried or you just frozen
Right.
and stuck, so not able to do any action. So it's lead to other things, and per you saying like leading to the light or staying in darkness, it's
Mhm.
really at that time the choice like if I'm thinking about the future, it's like, what am I to do? Am I able to function? What is the next step for me to move out of this? And I think the power or the energy to go through is that I can do it because I know that I'm more. Because I was still in my mid 20s, I have a love to live on, and one
Mhm.
of the things is I think for love, it's not the love for myself. It's like I don't want to hurt the people who love me, who care for me, my mom and dad.
Okay.
And I think sometimes when you don't know the idea, what can you go on and what can you move out from the dark place, is thinking about other people who cares about you. And in other way, if you think that it's so dark, like no one's care about me, I'm all alone, then what about
Sure.
you yourself? Then you can turn into yourself, like you love yourself, you are your own healer, your own
Mhm.
savior, your own master, and everything. You have all the power. So whatever that in the dark space, it's a message from the universe or God or whatever higher power or anything that telling you, say you are in a place that is giving your power away, or you are not getting your power back. So it's about getting you to the driver's seat, getting you back into the moment, the divine power within you. So I see that as that opportunity to move forward instead of staying there. One of the things that I keep myself feeling better, because it was depression at that time, so I would look for things that it's in beauty in the world to awaken myself,
Mhm.
and a reference for me, hey, there's love, there's laughter, you're not the worst. And that is the self-talk that I did to
Mhm.
myself. Yeah.
Yeah, and what I hear you saying is, um, the inner critic voice could have had an opportunity to take over, and you were able to stop it. I know in neuroencoding, I use NLP techniques that help calm that voice that starts to tell you maybe you're not worth it, or
Mm,
you could do better, or starts really talking. I like to say talking smack, but um, when you also had said something I wanted to go back to is, you referred to like numbing out, and people don't necessarily recognize that this is what they're doing, right? So it can be that we start out, we have a dark night of the soul, something terrible happens to us, or maybe a series of terrible things happen to us. And then we reach for something, and whether it be drugs or alcohol or TV or gambling or shopping or porn or whatever, because there's so many different things, it could be love. We reach for that, and then it's like, oh gosh, that made me feel better. Maybe it's a great big piece of chocolate cake. And
mm,
and that's like, oh, that made me feel better. So then the next time you're feeling low like that, your brain is like, remember last time you were feeling really crappy like this? You had that big piece of chocolate cake and that made you feel better. And so you do that again. And then it becomes a habit. You reach for that same thing and you reach for that same thing. And then before you know it, it is an addiction because you've made that habit a part of you, and you've wired your brain into that. Um, I know that you did not stay in that space for a long time. Um, you were able to move yourself through it, which I would say would take a deep level of intuition, a deep inner knowing that there was something different for you out there to seek. Is
Mhm.
that fair to say? That you kind of
Uh,
like you knew, or did somebody help kind of guide you um
yeah,
to
I
getting out of that?
right. Yeah, I think the part of intuition, I think that was the lifelong, I think, inner dialogue to myself that I knew that I could do something and
Okay.
like a strength within myself. And also at that point with the darkening of the soul, that crisis happened, it's not the first time in my life. So it happened before, but it was just a really big impact all at once. And so I would link to the patterns that I had, like what is it right now that I need to see, or what it is right now that I need to learn. What is that I'm not
Okay.
getting?
Mhm.
So I think that's the dialogue that I had. It's like,
Okay.
why is it keep happening to me? Like we all have
Yeah.
these questions, like why me? Why
Why me?
is it happening to me? So
Especially in the moment, right? It's like,
yeah, at that
uh,
moment. Yeah, so and I link to those things and realize an answer within myself because I keep asking those things, and sometimes it will lead people to stuck in that state. But sometimes I just okay, this is not the direction. Like I keep reframing the question. So I think asking a question is good. Instead of we stay stuck, like I feel awful, I feel sad, I feel blah blah blah. It's not that, but like why do I feel sad? Why do I feel this way? So I keep that questions in a curiosity with or without answer because that is a really good way and unique way to get out of our situation and have a different perspective coming in some way. So that pattern that I found myself was um, I was looking for external help or outside forces to help me or rescue me. That's been my problem or patterns. And now the universe telling me, no, no one's helped you. No one. Yes, you're alone, but you can do it. And that's the voice come to my head, and that's what I make the strength, have the strength to overcome that.
yeah, okay, so you became your own hero and you're like, I got this, I can do this. You follow your intuition, which is truly, right? That's the voice of God speaking back to you because you're speaking out and you're like, I need help.
Mhm.
And then, God, source, universe, people use all different terminologies for it, but they said, okay, like follow these steps. And that's what you did. And I hear you saying that it took you into a line of spiritual energy healing,
Mhm.
um, in which is your current work that you do. So tell us a little bit about that because I hear um, like when we get stuck,
Mhm.
right, it's because the mind wants to keep us in that past situation.
Yeah.
And you were able to use some techniques to keep you moving forward, thinking about into that future. What does that future look like? And when we're more focused on, this present moment, like in the moment where the meditation was taking you, and then moving forward, then you were getting kind of essentially, I have a vision right now of like you being pulled from out of the dirt and moved forward, like, and that's the vision that's coming to me. So talk to me about the steps that you took and the tools that you used to get you to where you are now as an energy healer.
Mm-hmm. I think the first one is acknowledgement. I think it's always the acknowledgement for anything that we do. It's not only healing, could be the personal development, spiritual development, or even in your life, your relationship, family, and anything, work. It's the acknowledgement that something that I need to look at. It's not
Okay.
judgment of right and wrong or I made a mistake or not. It's not that. It's like, what can I do better? Like, what is something that I need to improve one step at a time? Because sometimes it's too big of a bite when you're in certain
Sure.
situation that you cannot get out. It's not overnight. But okay, what is something I can do differently? So that is the first step, acknowledgement. The next thing is about allow. So there are a lot of emotion that we repressed, we suppressed, we blocked, we are not feeling safe to express. So in that stage in a healing journey that I release a lot of anger and resentment and sadness and just feeling unfair, injustice, whatever that I experience. So in a way, it's really good to have someone support you. You can do it by yourself, but it's like both ways. You can do it on your own, and you can do with a practitioners or trusted group that you look for that support you. And through that, it's just a release of energy and whatever that it's I'm dealing with that it's stuck in the body. So it's just like a trap. It's the acknowledgement and the non-judgment within yourself, because the biggest things that we overcome is the shame, guilt,
Sure.
and anger. That is the lowest of the vibration too. So afterwards, it's about, okay, now what? You release. It's like if you wanted to move in a new home, whether that it's preoccupied or not, you renovate your home, then we wanted to clean up some old stuff. So that is the step that I do. We could clear the old stuff and really acknowledge what are the stuff that I no longer wanted to have, let go. So the next step, okay, now remove the stuff, and then my next step, or guided steps, because it's really it's a process. So afterwards, like, what do I want to bring in? What is something that I need to what is something that I already have? What are the strengths that I have, and what are the things that I need to build on and I need to learn? So again,
Okay.
it's really work on all areas of life. Like if you wanted to look for a job or relationships, like, oh, I wanted to have a relationship or look for a partner, what is something that I don't have right now but can improve on? And then we're gonna learn for it. So for example, to become an energy healer or coach, and for sure I need to learn about related energy healing or path, and also be in it too. So I'm a teacher and also a student, all simultaneously, like that, just to experience. And I think the next step is about participation or embodiment. And that is the step that is a process going overnight. And also a misconception too. It's like, oh, once that I know what I want to do, for sure, like for you to Corinne, like to be in the podcast or have a name for this
Yeah.
podcast and on the
Mhm.
topic and everything, it's evolve, it's evolution. So also it's about not feeling guilty or bad or disappointed about, oh, I'm not doing what I am supposed to do, not I set out to do. Actually, whatever the evolution go about, it's aligned to you, and just open to accept, oh my god, this is better than I thought, or oh, this is no longer is needed or support. It's okay to let go too. So I think having this mentality and the perception and mindset about able to let go, allow it to come in, allow it to let go, it's easy said than done. I'm sure, like, I'm in the
I
process
was
of that.
gonna say
I know
that.
it's easy said, but
Yeah.
it's always about the wisdom or the truth out there. It's
Mhm.
that we are able to connect to it consciously, or like in our head. But the way that we're gonna to do, like to embody, to feel it, to really do it, and that's our own strength and wisdom to how to integrate it in your life.
Sure. And okay, so when you talk about energy healing,
Mm-hmm.
so for maybe some of the audience, they've just never been exposed to energy healing. They don't really even have a concept of what we're talking about. So maybe they're just stuck, and we all know stuck stinks, and they've had these things happen, and they don't necessarily have the skill set yet to recognize that there is a gift in there for them for growth.
Right.
Okay. So with knowing that, can you describe to our audience what energy healing is, what exactly it is that you do, so that they're kind of, have an awareness then of, oh, okay, that it's not some wand waving magic that you do. Let's talk specifically about energy
Yeah.
healing and what that looks like.
Yeah. So energy healing, it's something that we talk about energy is we are all in our field or in our body, everything moves with energy, just like
Mhm.
energy with computer or phone charger. So our human body, we run through energy. So that's the part that for our body. So energy healing is healing the energy flow and your life force in the body. So whether that is mental, emotional, or physical or spiritually, so it's the energy component is there. So with energy healing, it's mean that what are the imbalances? So not necessarily good or bad, again, right or wrong, or something stuck, or something wrong with your body, or not like a physical way about sickness. So it's the imbalances of energy, or the flow is not going. So the energy healing goes to healing or getting to the root cause of the symptoms. that's the essential part of energy healing. So instead of just the symptoms, because sometimes we address, oh, we are hungry, we go to eat, thirsty, we go to, we drink. But this one, okay,
Mhm.
if you're feeling certain things stuck in you, and everyone, let's say the symptom of stuck, it's 10 people's feeling stuck, 10 people reasons will be different. And that is
Mhm.
sometimes it's really hard to pinpoint because it's not cookie cutter. However, what we do in the energy healing is that very interpersonal and it's very personalized and unique to your energy, whatever that you need and whatever that you are guided to at that time with a practitioner. Or if not, sometimes with guided meditation, that a lot of resources out there that if you are not knowing energy healing at all, then a lot of resources out there that you have really concepts for that. And if you're into it for a while, then look for something that are you looking for mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical like that. So
Mhm.
the energy healing not only for the root cause. So sometimes the process to guide you to have your own power and understanding of your challenges and obstacle. So that is the other part that I love about doing energy healing.
Okay.
It's that okay, now that it's not about fixing, I want to understand it, acknowledge it, and also overcome it. So it's a process, and also it's a own yourself learning. So you don't necessarily need to be a healer or practitioner of that, but the healing or actually connecting back your relationship with yourself is about understanding yourself and your needs and also fulfilling your needs. So it's that instead of we're looking for external, because a lot of the times our society, our culture is that external validation, external needs that
Sure.
need to be met to us. So
Mhm.
energy healing is the opposite, it's from the inner to outer. So that's
Sure.
what I love the part about what I do. And it's not just work, but it's my passion, it's my hobby. So it's like I'm a lifelong student and I just love to learn and explore all about it.
Right. I think that's the human experience, isn't it? We're really here to
Yeah.
expand ourselves, expand on the soul level, through the experience of being a human. And so we're going to come into contact with all different things, and we get to, you know, choose, right? Are we going to keep being pulled into the past, or do we want to propel ourselves into the future? And energy work, as you're describing it, so energy can get stuck, and we have all these different energy centers in our bodies. And I know that in the ancient wisdom, it's like a wheel. They talk about the energy, right? To move like a wheel. So I like to give people a visual of that is, is to think about that the energy should be moving the way a wheel would move. That energy should flow. And in those different centers, and then each center, it connects into the other center. So if one of them gets stuck,
Mm-hmm.
right? The water doesn't flow,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I
Yes.
think of that, right? That it's kind of, I'm thinking about the little wheel, the water wheel, and all of a sudden, it just now it's stuck. And so now it's not flowing. Things aren't flowing in us. And in that area, when the isn't in flow, when the energy isn't in flow, we can start to see various symptoms. I'm going to put in air quotes, symptoms
Mm-hmm.
pop up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you get to step in and say, let's try this portion of the healing. Let's do this, take these steps to get you out of the stuckness, whatever that looks like. It could be in my case, when we talk about it in neuroencoding, we talk about procrastination, hesitation, fear of success, fear of failure, imposter syndrome, fear of rejection, self-doubt, self-loathing. And the list it goes on. But these are things that really keep us from stepping into our greatness because we're hesitant, right? We're like, oh, like life is dark and bleak,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
I don't really know how to get out. But you have that ability to help be a guide to get
Mm-hmm.
people out of that
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
stuckness, if you will.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
wanted to bring up the points that you share, like all the stuck symptoms, like the fears and imposter syndrome, and really remind me of how to get out of stuckness or the reason that we feel stuck. Because sometimes we don't know, even though why do I feel stuck? Why is it happening all the time? it's going back to the point that the really inner parts, that the subconscious, super conscious part, that you don't feel safe. We don't feel safe in some way, or we
Mhm.
don't want to get hurt again because it's not the first time that you were hurt. So
Right.
it's our really primal human psychology that we want to feel happy and safe and survive. And so this is the three primal human psychology. So whatever that things that really threaten these 3 points, then we will feel stuck. We don't want to do, we are avoiding, or we wanted to reject doing that. So that is the root cause about feeling stuck. So because I
Yes,
always wanted to go to the root cause, why do we feel this way? And to
absolutely.
understand and acknowledge that too.
Right. And people want to villainize the ego, and the ego's job is to do that, is to keep you safe, right? And in that, wanting to keep you safe and keep you connected and keep you worthy, and in doing those things, sometimes that it can keep us playing kind of small because it learned some, over the course of time, we've learned some adaptive, in
Right.
air quotes again, behaviors that
Yeah,
kept us there.
exactly.
And we want to, if we're going to be creative, okay, so if everything is an illusion and the world can be whatever you want, right? Wouldn't you make it a really great story? I mean,
Mhm.
it's like, okay, well, if I can make, pretty much, draw it out and map it out, I can make it happen because that's really truly how powerful we are as beings.
Yep.
Um, but we have that little ego part of us trying to keep us safe. We go and say, remember when you were five? Remember when
Mhm.
you were five and all the kids laughed at you because you tried to do XYZ and you fell on your
Exactly.
face?
Yeah.
Or remember, when you were 12 and you got up in front of the class and you tried to speak in front of everybody and you threw up or whatever it
Mhm.
was?
Yep.
It's going to keep reminding you of that scenario until you are like, hey, I got this.
Yes, absolutely.
That's
You
true.
just bring out a point
Move it.
about the core or the essentials of energy healing. Why do we have this trigger, the trauma and the perceived perceptions, our judgment and consequences,
Mhm.
whatever that happen within us, in us, in our conscious or non-conscious memories. And sometimes that I love to work with this in the spiritual matters of the energy healing is that sometimes those patterns are not yours. It just
Right.
like it's just
Mhm.
like certain illnesses that pass down to you from generations, that you have higher chances to getting XYZ, just like that
Mhm.
in a physical sense. So sometimes the patterns that is from your ancestor or from your mother and father, that it's innate, before you were born. So this is the sense that in the energy healing that oh my God, I don't even, I don't have this experience, but I feel certain way that I don't know why. So it's a very interesting aspect when we explore those things.
It really is. And we could go into so many different directions when it comes to the energy component of it. Because and that part really excites me because I love all the different modalities that can be used to help people heal.
Yeah.
And um, really want to help people understand that yes, life does happen. It happens to us. And then they
Mm-hmm.
say, right, well, it actually happens for us because it helps so that, there is that evolution piece in there, that transformation piece in there, but
Mm-hmm.
it also happens by us and then ultimately through us, right? Because when I can take all of the things that I've learned and then I can step forward into that, teacher, healer, mentor, role model position and take
Mm-hmm.
all of that wisdom that I've gleaned. Now life is moving through me
Mm-hmm.
and passing that on to the next person. And that's what you're doing. You're taking everything that you've learned and passing it on and having it move through you, instead of allowing that energy to stay stuck in you and you're back over here in the
Yeah.
wallowing of it. So through all of that journey, though, Wendy,
Mm-hmm.
what has been your biggest golden nugget of wisdom where you were like, the V8 head, like head smack where you're in the forehead and you're like, oh my goodness, how did I not see that? But finally you were awakened to it and you're like, oh, and this has like been
Yeah.
the most life-changing thing for you. What would be that golden nugget that you would like to share with the audience?
Yeah. I think there are lots, but I think one of the golden nugget that's helped me through all of the things from back then to now, it's one time that I had a moment that, again, another certain situation that is not very ideal. And then I was able to connect directly to the divine at that time, with just the split moment and asking then the questions. And I
Yeah.
think so the golden nugget that I wanted to share, it's again, I go back to the questions. If think about this situation, if you are able to connect to the divine direct line, or you have a genie in a bottle to ask the questions, and that question is a golden question to get you the answer. So if you say, how do I get out of it, that's not the questions, that's not the answer, it's actually exactly. So it's like asking the question is so important. What I ask the question, when I connect to the divine, it's like, okay, universe, God, what is the purpose, that I am experiencing that? And I keep asking questions, and then I didn't get an answer. I didn't get an answer until I switch the perception of the questions. It's not why did it happen to me, or what is happening to me, what is the reason of having this. It's like, what
Sure.
is the reason that we experience. So I'm switching that from my point of view, the self center, to actually expand. Not me. This is not me. This is not my own individual uh, avatar. Like, I'm not Wendy. So it's really forgetting, not forgetting, but it's really letting go. These are the illusions. Like, no, I am experiencing not only through me, but through a lot of people, the
Yeah.
consciousness. And then I
Mhm.
get the answer is that we are here to create, to evolve, and to balance.
Oh,
And
well.
at that moment, and I'm like, it would
Mhm.
apply all of the things that will answer all of the things. It's like, whenever that, let's say, go back to the crisis or darkening of the soul. What is the purpose of my darkening of the soul? To create, to evolve, to balance. So
Mhm.
not necessarily create at that time, because I was in a situation, not that, but it's to evolve from
Sure.
out of it, evolve from the patterns that I was stuck in, not feeling safe,
Mhm.
and to create a new life for myself, and to balance my energy. Was feeling sad and depressed all the time, not seeing the happiness in my life. So it was like it
Oh,
was like a wave of awakening for myself, that I would able to apply to all the situation. And that is the golden nugget that, sometimes I would pass on into my course or individual clients, that when it aligned to this wisdom. And I say, well, sometimes that we happen to have this and think about this, to create, to evolve, into balance, and it has a lot of wisdom within it. And so I'm so appreciate that I get to
yeah.
share this golden nugget to everyone right now.
Oh, I love it. Hearing you say, right, we move from me to we,
Yes.
because we are all connected.
Hmm.
Really understanding that universal consciousness and the
Hmm.
oneness of it all, and stepping out of that self-centered mentality is like, this here is, like you were put through a lesson so that you could go out and teach to people,
Hmm.
how to move through something like this. And so thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. I know you said you have a course coming up, and if somebody would want to get a hold of you and get in contact with you and connect, how would they do that, Wendy?
Yeah, you can go to my website, wendyluk.com. It's very easy and short. And my program is called Soul Mission Alignment. So in that, or wendyluk.com/soul mission alignment. And we have a lot of information there. And to share about it, it's an 8 weeks course. And so in 8 weeks, in 2 months, that you can cut down all of your guessing, your doubts, and
Mm,
you're searching for different modalities, because I have all in one. It's a unique program that I wanted to contain not only energy healing, but a step-by-step process to align the clarity only for you, not cookie cutter. So everyone
right.
have a unique soul mission statement.
Mhm.
So the outcome is that you have your soul mission statement, you have clarity, and you have tools. You're going to learn tools to ground yourself, to connect with your higher self, so that you have the ongoing transformation process.
Oh, I love it. And I am a collector of tools. I don't think you can ever have too many tools in your toolbox, because
Mhm.
you just never know what you're going to come across. So,
Absolutely.
and I living with my husband who repairs things and has lots of tools.
Mhm.
You can never have you can never have too many of the same type of tool, right? It's not exactly the same, but it's really similar. So,
Even though the same tools, different
right.
sizes, you gotta have the different sizes for different space,
Yeah.
different, yeah, nuggets of things. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really been a pleasure having you here on the Secret Keepers podcast. And again, I will have everything in the show notes. So if you want to connect with Wendy, or if you want to ever connect with me, go ahead and check the show notes. And thanks again for being a guest on the Secret Keepers podcast.
Thank you so much for sharing this space and connect with everyone here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining the Secret Keepers podcast. If you found this episode helpful, please give us a like and follow so we can invite you back. And if you just want more, visit CorrineZuleger.com. Remember, you're not alone.